guys, how are yous? We are going to do a little video today of our Among Us characters, which are very popular at the minute. So today I'm going to make two. I'm going to make a blue Among Us character and an orange one, but they're all almost identical. So you can repeat this with whatever color you want at home, okay? So we've got a wee collection of these wee guys here, and you can give them little accessories, the likes of this wee yellow one here has a little leaf or a little plant on his head, and we've got the little purple one which has a little Viking hat. Okay, so you can add little accessories if you want to do that. That's no problem, that's up to you. So I'm going to set these wee guys just over here. Okay, and then I'm going to show you how to make your Among Us characters. Okay, so you're going to need whatever color you want. As I said, we are doing orange and blue. You are going to need white and black, okay? Just a small amount of white. You don't need a whole lot of white, but it's going to be for the little shine on the eye and the little bit of grey on the eye, just like this. So only a small amount. Okay, so we'll start with the blue. So here we go. Here's the little blue guy. Okay, and they have their little backpack on the back. So open your sachet, take out all of your blue clay and give it a good old stretch and fold. So stretch it out, fold it back. Okay, until it's really nice and soft. Now if you want at any point you can put me on pause. If you need to catch up or anything like that, you go ahead and do that. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take off a little bit of clay for the backpack. So I'm going to break off a piece of clay about the size of a Malteser sweet. Okay, about the size of a Malteser sweet. And the rest I'm going to roll into a ball shape. So if you use a high five hand, fingers together, hand nice and flat, and roll that up, you can use the table. If you want to use your two hands, that's entirely up to you. Okay, so roll that up. Just like that, okay, little ball shape. Now we're going to make that into a oval shape. So set it on the table, high five hands, and we're going to roll forward and back just a few times to make a short oval shape. Okay, now what we can do is we can use our finger here to make a little dip on the underneath. So if you turn it upside down or whatever end you want, it's exactly the same. And if you just press your finger into the clay at the bottom, so I'm just rolling my finger front to back like this into the clay, okay, and you get this sort of heart shape. Okie dokes. And then all you need to do is push that from the top and the bottom, and you just keep working that so that you get the little dip at the bottom, just like this guy. Okay, so just like that. So what you can do is you can use the table and set it down and just very gently with your hand press around the two sides and on top, just until you get the shape that you want. Almost like the letter A, isn't it? Okay, so that's that part done. So what I want you to do now is to take a little bit of black. So open your black, take a little piece out, about the size of a Skittle sweet, and give it a bit of a stretch and fold. Make sure it's nice and soft, okay? And if you think that you've got too much, just take a little bit away. I think I've got a little bit too much there. So about the size of a Skittle sweet there, okay? So into a ball shape, like so. And then with your finger, just roll forward and back until you get a very short oval shape, a bit like a Tic Tac sweet. Set it on the table, and with your thumb, you're going to press that down about halfway. And then just let that sit on the table. We're not going to put that on just yet. So a little flat oval shape. Okay, just leave it on the table for now. And then I want you to take some white. Now, we only need a small amount, about the size of a small pea. Okay, like a pea you would have for your dinner. small P. So give that a bit of a stretch and a fold. Now we're going to add the tiniest little bit of black to make grey, okay? So the tiniest pinch, super tiny, add it in there. And then stretch and fold. And the smaller the better, guys, because do you know what? Say if you stretch and fold this and it turns out that it's really, really light grey and you think it's too light, well then you can always add a little bit more black. But if you've added too much black and it goes too dark, it's hard to get it back. So give that a stretch and a fold, and you can decide if you think that that is too light or too dark. I think it's fine. So I'm going to roll that into a ball. I'm going to do the exact same as I did with the black. Okay, I'm going to roll it into a slight oval shape. Give it a bit of a press down. Okay, so this is going to be smaller than the black piece that you have here. So I'm going to set it on top, and we still want to be able to see the black around the outside of this. Okay, so if I show you, so you see how you can still see the black around the outside. So that's what we want. And then I'm going to take my Among Us character. Okay, and I'm going to pop this onto the front. For his eye. And then we're going to put a little shine on the eye. So you see this tiny little bit of white. So again, you only need the tiniest little bit of white, super small. Roll it into a ball and then a short sausage, and then just simply pop that on towards the top corner of the eye. Now we had set aside the other piece of blue, the size of a Malteser. So bring that out again, and we're going to stretch and fold and roll a ball. Okay, this is for the backpack. Okay, so at the minute you see how your Among Us character is sitting flat on the table, so the underneath is getting flatter, and that's okay because that's where the backpack's gonna go. So that's grand. So into a ball shape, and then we're going to roll forward and back into a short sausage, and then press down with your hand to flatten that a little bit. And you can push in the four sides with your fingers if you want, just to make those a bit more squared off. You can also use the side of a tool if you wish, just to make those a bit more squared off. Okay, so you want to get it the right sort of size, that it's not too big for its back, and then you just simply pop that on to the back of your Among Us character. Okay, so that's Mr. Blue done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly go through that again with you, just in the orange. Okay, so we use all the clay. One sachet, it's good enough size. You know, you might not need to use the whole sachet if you don't want to. It's entirely up to you. So give it a good old stretch and fold. Leave aside a piece of clay about the size of a Malteser sweet. Okay, leave that to one side. Roll the clay once it's nice and soft into a ball. Okay, this time I'm going to show you how to use or to make the bottom curve using a tool. Okay, so into a ball shape first of all, forward and back into your oval shape. Okay, now if you use the back end of the tool, okay, so not the sharper bit, but the sort of squared off bit at the back, and just on the underneath, okay, you're just going to push in, and I'm just going to rock this from side to side and push down in, and that will give you a good starter for the little legs of your Among Us guy. And then you can simply use your fingers and your thumb to make those a little bit deeper each side. Okay, and again, do you remember I said about using the table? So if it's changed shape slightly, you can just use the table and use the round part of your hand to just help shape that a little bit more. Okay, so using the tool is a good starter point. So you want it so that it's just sitting on your finger like this. Okay, and that's your wee guy. So that's his wee legs done. going to give him a little eye. So we'll set that down so that the back end is going to flatten out a little bit for the eye. Okay, we'll leave him there. So what did we need? We needed a little bit of black, about the size of a Skittle Sweet, not too big. Give it a stretch and a fold. Roll it into a ball and then into a short sausage, a bit like a Tic Tac sweet. Press down with your finger or your thumb to flatten that a little bit. Okay. And then we need to make our grey. So a piece of white about the size of a pea, small pea, okay, because this needs to be smaller than the piece of black that we've just made. We're going to add a tiny little pinch of black to that. Do you remember how we did that the last time? Stretch and fold to make your grey. And stretch and fold, guys, until all the clay is one colour. You want to take out any grains of colour. So you don't want to see white and you don't want to see black, just grey. Roll it into a ball. And then into a short sausage. Make sure it's smaller than the black that you have there. So short sausage, press down to flatten that. And then set it on top. Okay, and then you can set this onto your Among Us character. Okay, so the grey goes on top of the black, and then we need the little shine of the eye. So a tiny, tiny little bit of white, tiny little bit. Roll a ball, roll it into a short sausage, and then pop that onto the top corner of the eye. And then we need to give him his backpack. So take the little bit that you've set to one side, give it a stretch and a fold, roll a ball. Okay, great. Into a short sausage. And then flatten that down about halfway down. And do you remember how we used the tool to just square off or straighten out those sides of the backpack? So you can do that, or you can use your finger, whatever you prefer. Okay, and then that just pops on to the back of your Among Us character. So that's our blue and our orange Among Us, and you can make whatever color you want. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel there so that you don't miss out on any of our new makes. So I hope you enjoy your packs, and we shall see you